The video is Lila Nishmas Lashmo Boch Mecham Tzidoiv, second day in Japan, Asar B'Tevis. We're going to try to connect Asar B'Tevis to Japan, the culture, the lessons that we can learn, when we travel. So besides the fascinating information that you could see and learn, but really the lessons that you could take, and there's a lot to learn. Really interesting just for me to see the differences between the Chinese and the Japanese. Of course, there was a lot of influence from the Chinese and the Japanese, but they really want to keep their distance. And again, I don't want to say anything negative about the Chinese. When we get to China, we'll discuss China. But the Japanese are very, very careful about etiquette, about proper behavior. If a person smokes in public, they could get arrested. If a person makes too much noise. Really respect human beings. It's interesting. But etzem, they're friendly. They might not let you in so easily. And if you break the rules, chas v'shalom, a person can be in jail, and jail is not a fun place in Japan. But their commitment to the clergy, commitment to the religion, even someone who's might not even be religious. There's two types of religion. There's a Shinto religion and there's a Buddhism religion, which we once discussed in Sri Lanka already a few months ago, almost a year ago. But I learned a lot from this, and I think it amazingly connects to Asar B'Tevis. Why is that? So Asar B'Tevis, as we know, was when the siege was made by Nebuchadnezzar. It was the beginning of the destruction of the first Beis HaMikdash. It took 2.5 years. So let's try to understand the history. What's happening before the destruction? Yirmiyahu Hanavi is around. There's a king by the name of Tzidkiyahu. Tzidkiyahu, he was actually a righteous king. Chazal say, and very interesting, he was connected to the government. He would have meetings with Nebuchadnezzar. He once came in while Nebuchadnezzar was eating his dinner or whatever it was, and he was eating a rabbit, yes, a hare as it's called, tearing it apart. Nebuchadnezzar, of course, was shocked and didn't know that Tzidkiyahu had witnessed this barbaric eating, and he made him swear that he will never reveal it. At the end of the day, Nebuchadnezzar wanted respect, commanded respect, and it was actually something lacking of respect and etiquette. Interesting. This is what Chazal say. He made him make a swear. At the end of the day, Nebuchadnezzar, the Tzidkiyahu, ended up being pressured by the different other nations that were surrounding Israel, especially Egypt, which he thought that if he would be actually making peace with Egypt, it would actually be beneficial and he would be able to rebel against Nebuchadnezzar. One of the major mistakes is that Yirmiyahu Hanavi told him, Tzidkiyahu, make peace, act, and follow. Do not rebel and fight Nebuchadnezzar. That's what Yirmiyahu Hanavi was getting the messages, B'nevuah. He didn't listen. What's amazing is if you think about it, you usually don't hear this shmooze about Asar B'Tevis. That Asar B'Tevis, the beginning of the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. And in fact, it's so powerful, the beginning, as we know, that if Asar B'Tevis would come out on Shabbos, it's a famous Avod Raham, then it would push away Shabbos. It doesn't come out on the calendar. But that's how powerful it is. What makes it so powerful? Listening to your Navi, listening to your leaders, listening to respecting. And I think there's something else. Control of our emotions, control of being able to do what's right and not what we feel like doing. And it's interesting connection, but the Japanese, the amount of focus, the amount of concentration, to become a ninja, to become a samurai, and it's an amazing mashal because that it's always a concept of mind over matter, mind over the body, to really follow what the mind is saying, not what the body wants to do. That's the battle of every human being. So although I'm not here telling everyone to stop becoming a ninja and a samurai, although I definitely recommend in these days to be, if you're already exercising, to take martial arts, to learn how to do self-defense, and you have amazing instructors that are religious and Jewish, and I can recommend if anyone needs. So it's actually worthwhile, and it's a good exercise in today's world. So, and unless someone has major, powerful bitachon and doesn't need it and exercises anyway, or whatever the situation is. But wow, I used to learn from these people. I used to have these ninjas. They used to meditate for hours, not moving. It's so Blina, I'll try to share with you some pictures. It was actually one of the famous places in Kyoto, was the castle, the samurai castle. So although these are things that are foreign to us, but actually for years when I was growing up here in America, this was something that I was very interested in. So here we are, we're able to connect it and really lift up the sparks to use it for us, for our own lessons. That when we have a leader, and everyone should have their Rav, to learn, to be able to be mevatel. And the Rabbi Shem arranged it, that Yiftach b'der kishmu b'der. Every generation has their leaders, and so we're so easily ready to say, we know better than the Navi. Tzidkiyahu said, I know better than Yirmiyahu Navi. It led to the destruction. Amazing. Hatzlachat everyone, and we'll see you soon.